first thing we need to understand is this: success leaves clues. And those clues show up in patterns, in habits, in behaviors that anyone, yes, anyone, can adopt. It's not about luck. It's not about magic. It's about following the path laid out by those who've gone before you and staying on that path long enough to see results. Now, some people say, how do I know if I'm on the right path? Well, that's the million-dollar question. I always tell people, if you can see signs, just like road signs on a highway, then you'll know you're going the right way. But if you don't see any signs, if you're wandering without direction or losing hope, it might mean a little course correction is needed. No one stumbles onto the path of success by accident. It's always intentional, deliberate. And the good news is that success isn't just about reaching the destination. It's about becoming the person who's capable of achieving it. You see, success is a journey, not just an event. Every day along the path, you're either moving closer to your goals or drifting away from them. But if you're seeing these 10 signs, you're heading in the right direction. I'm going to break them down for you one by one, because each one deserves your full attention. The first sign that you're on the path to success is that you take full responsibility for your life. This is where success starts, my friends. Until you take responsibility for your life, your choices, your actions, and your results, you'll never have the power to change anything. You see, the moment you blame circumstances, other people, or the past for where you are today, you hand over control. And as long as you believe it's someone else's fault, you're stuck. But when you say, it's up to me, that's when things start to shift. Responsibility means accepting that no matter what happens, you're in charge of how you respond. That's the key. When I was younger, I had a long list of excuses: taxes, politics, inflation, even the weather. And one day, Mr. Schoaf said something that hit me right between the eyes. He said, if you want things to change, you have to change. If you want things to get better, you have to get better. I realized I'd been waiting for the world to fix itself, and it wasn't going to happen. From that moment on, I decided to take full responsibility for my life. And things began to change, not because the world got easier, but because I got better. Now, taking responsibility doesn't mean everything is fair. Life throws curveballs, it just does. But holding on to blame and resentment, that's like carrying a backpack full of rocks. It only slows you down. Drop the weight. Travel light. Responsibility means saying, no matter what happened, I get to decide what happens next. And here's the beauty of it. When you take responsibility, you take back your power. You stop saying, I can't, and start saying, I will, because I choose to. That's a shift in mindset. You become the kind of person who doesn't just hope for change, you make it happen. So ask yourself, are you taking full responsibility for your life? Or are you waiting for someone else to fix things? Because once you take ownership, you're not just on the path to success, you're creating it. And that's where the journey really begins. Next, you have clear, written goals and a plan to achieve them. Success is not a mystery. It's the result of clear, deliberate action towards specific targets. Without a goal, you're like a ship without a rudder, drifting wherever the wind takes you. But with a goal, now you've got direction. You've got a reason to get up in the morning. Goals turn wishes into plans. And not just any goals, written goals. Writing them down is what transforms vague dreams into something real, something you can measure and track. One thing I've noticed is that successful people don't just keep their goals in their heads. They write them down. There's something powerful about putting pen to paper. When you write a goal, it's no longer just an idea floating around. It becomes a commitment. It's a promise you've made to yourself, and that's something you take seriously. But a goal without a plan is just a dream. You need a step-by-step map to get where you want to go. And here's the truth. Big goals won't be achieved all at once. They're achieved one small step at a time. Break the big ones into smaller, actionable tasks. The key is progress, not perfection. Now, not every plan works perfectly. That's okay. A plan is a starting point, not a prison. If something isn't working, adjust. The goal stays the same, but the strategy can change. Think of it like driving on a road trip. If you hit traffic, you don't turn back and go home. You find another route. As long as you keep your destination in mind, you'll get there. And goals need deadlines. A goal without a deadline is just a fantasy. Deadlines create urgency. They force you to take action even when you don't feel like it. And that's the secret, doing what needs to be done, not just when you're in the mood, but because the plan says it's time. Tell me, do you have clear written goals? Are they detailed? Do you have a plan to achieve them? And most importantly, are you following that plan every day? Because if you can answer yes to those questions, you're well on your way. The path is laid out in front of you. All you need to do is walk it. Next, you believe in continuous learning and personal development. If there's one thing I've learned, it's this. Success is attracted to the person you become. You see, life doesn't get better by chance, it gets better by change. And the most important kind of change, that's the change you make within yourself. The more you grow, the more opportunities you attract. Personal development isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. If you're not learning, you're standing still. And if you're standing still, you're falling behind. Here's what happens to a lot of people. They finish school and think the learning's over. They believe education stops when the diploma is framed and hung on the wall. But the truth is, formal education can make you a living. Self-education will make you a fortune. Successful people make learning a lifelong habit. They read books, listen to seminars, seek out mentors, and challenge themselves with new ideas. They're constantly looking for ways to get better, to grow, to sharpen their skills. And learning isn't just about knowledge. It's about applying that knowledge. Reading a book or attending a seminar means nothing unless you put the lessons into action. It's not enough to know what to do. You have to do what you know. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't isn't knowledge, it's execution. When I was introduced to the idea of personal development, I wasn't doing well financially and wondering why things weren't working out. So I picked up my first self-improvement book. And guess what? That one book led to another, and another, and another. Each one added a new layer to my thinking. The person I was when I started that journey wasn't the same person a few years later. And my life changed because I changed. The beautiful thing about personal development is that it compounds. Every bit of learning builds on what you already know. It's like planting seeds in a garden. Each small effort today brings a harvest tomorrow. You may not see results right away, but over time, the impact is enormous. Now here's the key. It's not just about learning when it's convenient. Successful people carve out time for learning no matter how busy they are. They know that investing in themselves is the best investment they can make. So, are you committed to lifelong learning? Are you reading books, seeking mentors, attending seminars? Are you taking what you learn and putting it into practice? Because if you are, you're building the foundation for long-term success. Every time you grow, your life grows with you. And that's one of the most reliable signs that you're on the right path. Next, you practice self-discipline and build productive habits. Self-discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. It's what gets you out of bed early, even when you'd rather sleep in. It's what keeps you working on your dreams, even when the excitement wears off. You see, motivation will get you started, but discipline keeps you going. And those who understand this principle are already miles ahead on the path to success. The truth is, every meaningful achievement requires discipline. It's not about how you feel on any given day. It's about what you do, regardless of how you feel. Successful people aren't ruled by their emotions. They've learned to manage their time, energy, and focus, and that all comes down to self-discipline. Here's something important. When you discipline yourself to do what's hard now, you set yourself up for an easier future. You say no to distractions today so you can say yes to opportunities tomorrow. Think of it like planting seeds in spring so you can enjoy a harvest in the fall. That's what habits are. They're small, daily investments that lead to big rewards over time. Most people don't fail because of a lack of talent or opportunity. They fail because they lack discipline. They know what they need to do, but they don't follow through. They start projects but never finish. They set goals, but give up when things get tough. But the successful ones, they keep going, even when the excitement fades. They've trained themselves to do what needs to be done, whether they feel like it or not. Habits are the foundation of discipline. Whatever you do consistently, whether good or bad, becomes a habit. And habits have a way of running the show. You don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your habits. That's why successful people focus on building productive habits. They know that small disciplines practiced daily will eventually produce extraordinary results. One of the best things you can do is identify the habits that are holding you back and replace them with better ones. These little changes might seem insignificant at first, but over time, they build momentum. And remember, discipline isn't something you're born with. It's a skill. You develop it through practice. And yes, it's hard in the beginning, but every time you stick with it, you get a little stronger. Discipline becomes easier the more you use it, just like a muscle. So ask yourself, are your habits helping you or holding you back? Are you doing the things you know you should be doing, even when it's inconvenient? Are you making choices today that your future self will thank you for? Because if you are, you're not just on the path to success, you're building it step by step, day by day. Next, you maintain a positive attitude and mindset. Your mindset is everything. The way you think determines how you feel, and how you feel determines what you do. Successful people understand that a positive attitude isn't just a nice thing to have. It's essential. It's the foundation that helps you handle challenges, setbacks, and uncertainty without giving up. And here's the key. It's not about being blindly optimistic. It's about choosing to see opportunities even in the face of difficulties. You see, everyone faces obstacles. Everyone. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't lies in how they respond. Some people let problems paralyze them, while others use challenges as stepping stones. A positive mindset doesn't mean you ignore problems. It means you believe there's always a way forward. It's the ability to say, this might be tough, but I'm tougher. 2 shoe salesmen were sent to a remote village to explore market opportunities. The first one sent a message back. Bad news, no one here wears shoes. The second salesman sent a message too, but his said, great news, no one here wears shoes. Same situation, but 2 entirely different mindsets. One saw a dead end, and the other saw potential. The lesson? It's not the situation, it's how you choose to see it. Maintaining a positive attitude requires conscious effort. The world is full of negativity. Just turn on the news and you'll see it. But successful people protect their minds. They limit their exposure to negativity, surround themselves with uplifting people, and focus on solutions instead of problems. They know that what you feed your mind shapes your reality. If you fill your mind with doubt, fear, and negativity, that's what you'll experience. But if you feed it hope, optimism, and gratitude, you'll see more of the good around you. Being grateful is one of the most powerful tools for maintaining a positive mindset. When you make it a habit to focus on what's going right in your life, you train your mind to notice the good. And the more you notice the good, the more good you attract. It's not magic, it's mindset. A grateful person is always in a better position to take action than someone who's complaining about what's missing. And there's always setbacks. They're a part of every success story. When things go wrong, a positive mindset helps you get back up. It doesn't mean you won't feel frustration or disappointment. It means you don't stay stuck there. You learn the lesson, adjust your course, and keep moving. The road to success isn't smooth, but a positive attitude acts like shock absorbers. It makes the bumps easier to handle. Here's another thing, a positive mindset is contagious. When you maintain a good attitude, it lifts the people around you. And that creates an environment where success becomes possible not just for you, but for everyone around you. Tell me, are you choosing to stay positive, even when things aren't going your way? Are you feeding your mind with thoughts that lift you up instead of tear you down? Because your attitude is one of the strongest indicators of whether or not you're on the path to success. The good news is, your mindset is always within your control. And the moment you decide to stay positive no matter what, you've already won half the battle. Next, you take consistent action toward your goals. Action is what separates dreamers from doers. Having a goal is essential, but it's not enough on its own. It's the steps you take day in and day out that make the dream a reality. Consistency is the name of the game. You don't plant a seed today and expect to harvest tomorrow. Success demands that you nurture it every single day, even when you don't see immediate results. The thrill wears off. It's like going to the gym. You don't get in shape from one workout, but by showing up regularly, those small efforts start to add up. The magic is in the compound effect. Little actions repeated over time produce big outcomes. You can't cram the planting season. You can't plant a field in one afternoon and expect a harvest next week. You've got to show up every day, till the soil, plant the seeds, water the crops, pull the weeds, and trust that the harvest will come in time. Life works the same way. If you want to succeed, you have to take consistent action and trust the process. And here's what will happen. You'll build momentum. Momentum is your best friend on the path to success. When you take small, consistent actions, you build momentum, and momentum makes the work easier. But here's the thing. Momentum works both ways. If you stop taking action, it's hard to get started again. That's why consistency matters so much. Even a little progress every day keeps the momentum going. A lot of people wait for the perfect time to take action, but perfection is an illusion. There will never be a perfect time, so the best time to start is now. Don't wait until you feel ready. Don't wait until circumstances are ideal. Start where you are with what you have. Successful people don't wait. They take action, adjust along the way, and keep moving forward. Action also builds confidence. The more you do, the more capable you feel. Every time you follow through, you're reinforcing the belief that you're the kind of person who takes action. And that belief becomes a powerful asset over time. On the other hand, every time you procrastinate, you strengthen the habit of delay, which only makes it harder to move forward. Focus on the next step, not the entire staircase. Big goals can feel overwhelming, but if you break them down into smaller tasks, you'll find it easier to take action. One step at a time is how all big things get done. So here's the big question. Are you taking consistent action toward your goals? Even on days when you're tired or unmotivated, are you moving the needle forward, even a little? Because success isn't just about having a goal. It's about putting in the work day after day until the results show up. And they will. The path to success is walked one step at a time. What matters most is that you keep stepping. Next, you surround yourself with positive and successful people. You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. That's not just a clever quote, it's the truth. The people you surround yourself with influence your thinking, your habits, and ultimately, your results. If you want to stay on the path to success, you've got to be intentional about who you let into your inner circle. You need people who lift you up, challenge you to grow, and inspire you to be better. Energy is contagious. Spend enough time around people with a negative mindset, and before you know it, you'll find yourself thinking the same way. You'll start to believe life is unfair, that success is out of reach, and that excuses are acceptable. But when you surround yourself with people who are motivated and forward-thinking, that energy rubs off too. Suddenly ideas seem possible, challenges feel manageable, and success feels inevitable. Your environment is shaping you, whether you realize it or not. If you're constantly around people who complain, make excuses, or stay stuck in the past, it's hard to stay motivated. But if you're with people who talk about goals, solutions, and opportunities, it shifts your mindset. It becomes easier to believe that success is possible for you too. Here's the thing, not everyone in your life will share your ambition, and that's okay. You don't have to cut people off completely, but you do need to be mindful of how much influence they have over you. Think of it like this. You wouldn't expect a healthy plant to grow in toxic soil, right? Well, the same goes for your mindset. If your closest relationships are filled with negativity or doubt, it's going to be hard to thrive. Here's another tip. Seek out mentors and role models. Successful people love sharing their wisdom. If you're willing to learn, they're willing to teach. When you surround yourself with the thoughts and ideas of successful people, you start thinking like them too. And don't forget, this works both ways. Be the kind of person who uplifts others. Encourage your friends, support their dreams, and share what you're learning along the way. Success isn't just about getting ahead. It's about helping others move forward too. When you create an environment where everyone around you is encouraged to grow, it's easier for you to grow as well. Here's a question. Are the people around you pushing you toward your goals or pulling you away from them? Are they excited about your progress, or are they trying to keep you where you are? These are hard questions, but they're important ones. Because success isn't just about what you do. It's also about who you choose to do it with. So take a moment to reflect on your circle. Are you spending time with people who inspire you to become your best self? Are they adding value to your life or draining it? Because the right people don't just walk the path with you, they help clear the way. And when you walk alongside others who are headed in the same direction, success becomes a shared journey. Next, you embrace change and adaptability. Change is inevitable. Whether we like it or not, the world is always shifting. Markets change, technology evolves, relationships grow or fade, and life throws surprises our way. The difference between those who succeed and those who struggle lies in their ability to adapt. Successful people don't resist change, they embrace it. They know that every change, even the uncomfortable ones, carries the seeds of opportunity. Most people fear change because it brings uncertainty. They cling to what's familiar, even if it's not serving them, because stepping into the unknown feels risky. But here's the truth. Growth only happens outside of your comfort zone. If you stay where it's safe, you'll never discover what's possible. Successful people develop the mindset that change is not something to fear, but something to welcome. They don't ask, why is this happening to me? They ask, how can I make this work for me? Think about it. Industries evolve, careers shift, and trends come and go. If you don't adjust, you get left behind. It's like rowing a boat upstream. If you stop rowing, the current pulls you backward. Success requires forward movement, and that means being flexible when plans need to change. Adaptability isn't about giving up on your goals. It's about finding new ways to achieve them when circumstances change. I've met people who held on tightly to old ways of doing things, hoping the world would circle back to how it used to be. But life doesn't work that way. When change comes, you have two options. Resist it and be left behind, or embrace it and find a way to benefit from it. The people who thrive are the ones who adjust their sails instead of waiting for the wind to blow their way. Change isn't always comfortable, but it's always necessary. Every major success story involves moments of change, moments where people had to pivot, rethink their strategy, or take a different path altogether. Look at businesses that survived tough economic times. They didn't survive by doing what they had always done. They found new ways to serve their customers, launched new products, or shifted their focus entirely. And adaptability isn't just about big changes, it's also about adjusting to the small ones. A rigid person might give up, but someone adaptable will find another way. They'll adjust their routine, try a new approach, or find a creative solution. This kind of mindset builds resilience, the ability to keep going, no matter what life throws at you. Adaptability also requires humility. It takes humility to admit when something isn't working and change course. It takes humility to say, I don't have all the answers, but I'm willing to learn. Successful people don't let their egos get in the way. If a new strategy or technology comes along, they're not afraid to dive in and learn. They're more focused on the outcome than their pride. Here's the bottom line. Change is a constant, but growth is optional. The choice to adapt is always in your hands. Are you willing to embrace change, even when it's uncomfortable? Are you flexible enough to adjust your plans when life demands it? Because if you can learn to see change, not as an obstacle, but as an opportunity, you'll always find a way forward. Next, you provide value and serve others. Success isn't just about what you achieve for yourself, it's about how much value you bring to others. The more you help people, the more opportunities will come your way. In fact, success is a natural byproduct of serving others. Whether you're running a business, leading a team, or just living your life, the question you should always ask is, how can I add value? Because when you solve problems, meet needs, or improve someone's situation, success will follow. Think of the most successful businesses in the world. They thrive not because they focus on profits, but because they provide solutions that people need. The profit is a result of the value they provide. And the same principle applies to individuals. When you focus on providing value, the rewards will come. Here's the beautiful thing about value. It's not just about money. You can provide value by offering your time, your attention, your skills, or even your encouragement. Every act of service creates a ripple effect. When you lift someone up, you set something in motion that eventually circles back to you. That's the law of sowing and reaping. What you give will always come back, often multiplied. One of the fastest ways to become valuable is to solve problems. Look for ways to make things better, whether it's at work, in your family, or in your community. If you become known as someone who can solve problems, you'll never be out of opportunities. People are drawn to those who can help, who can offer solutions, and who make a positive difference. And don't fall into the trap of thinking, what's in it for me? That kind of thinking leads nowhere. The most successful people focus on giving before they worry about receiving. They trust that when they serve others, good things will come back to them in unexpected ways. Zig Ziglar used to say, you can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. That's a principle worth remembering. Now, serving others doesn't mean you become a doormat or say yes to everything. It means being intentional about the value you provide. It means looking for ways to make things better while still pursuing your own goals. It's about finding that sweet spot where your passion intersects with what others need. When you align your talents and skills with service, success becomes inevitable. And here's an important thing to remember. Serving others isn't just something you do when you feel like it. It's a way of life. Successful people don't wait for the right moment to give. They make it a habit. They know that the more they contribute, the richer their life becomes, not just in material ways, but in relationships, satisfaction, and fulfillment. So ask yourself, are you providing value in everything you do? Are you looking for ways to serve others, whether it's at work, at home, or in your community? Because if you are, you're not just on the path to success. You're paving the way for others to succeed alongside you. And that's what real success looks like. Success isn't a mystery. It's a matter of patterns, decisions, and daily actions. If these signs are showing up in your life, you're not just hoping for success, you're building it. And it's a journey, not a one-time event. Some days will feel easier than others, and some challenges will test your resolve. But the important thing is to stay the course. Because success isn't just about reaching a destination. It's about becoming the kind of person who's capable of achieving it. And the more you align with these signs, the more you'll see doors open, opportunities appear, and progress unfold. So keep going. Keep growing. Keep serving. Success is not just something you achieve, it's something you earn step by step, decision by decision, habit by habit. And every time you see one of these signs show up in your life, know that you're on the right path. Stay on it long enough, and you'll not only reach your goals, you'll exceed them. Now, the question is, what's the next step for you? Now, the question is, what's the next step for you? Because success favors those who take action. And today is the perfect day to take that next step.